Tonight, the Maryland DREAM Act is close to becoming law. It would allow undocumented students to qualify for in-state tuition. Governor O'Malley is expected to sign the bill. The General Assembly already passed. But the debate, as you will see, is far from over. Republican delegate Neil Parrott is chairman of a petition drive aimed at putting a referendum repealing the law on the 2012 ballot. Democratic Maryland Senator Roger Manno is also with us. He supports the DREAM Act and voted in favor of it. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Delegate Parrott, let's start with you. You believe, more or less, as I understand it, the DREAM Act is an amnesty bill disguised as an education bill. What do you say?
Well, I'll tell you, this bill, as it was going through debate, it was cut off debate in the House of Representatives. And then, even as we were going through debate, I realized this was not something that was popular with Maryland voters. And even I put a Facebook post, and over 98% of the people in that Facebook post said they do not want this bill to pass, and they'd like to see it go to referendum. It just costs too much money for Marylanders, and we believe that this referendum effort is going to be successful when people go to our website, www.mdpetitions.com.
All right, Senator Manno, your position is that education is always an investment worth making, right?
That is true. This is a very reasonable bill, Will. It provides for Maryland residents who have graduated from Maryland high schools. These are kids we've already invested in. The same opportunities for success as anyone else. They must graduate from Maryland high school. They must guarantee that they have paid their taxes, and they must have registered for the Selective Service. And it also provides in-state tuition for some veterans. So it's a reasonable bill. I think the referendum, with all due respect to my colleague on the House side, is a distraction from the very serious issues that Maryland is facing right now and that lawmakers are supposed to be doing.
But, Senator, is priority given to students who could be just deported anyway?
I'm sorry, is that to me?
Yes.
These are Maryland residents, Will. They're kids who have graduated from Maryland high schools. We have invested in them as many as 12 years through high school. They're paying their taxes. They have to prove that. And they have registered for Selective Service with the military. These are kids who live in our communities, and to pull the rug out from under them when they're about to attend college creates a subclass in the state of Maryland that we all pay for in the form of higher social services and safety net services, and I think that that's not the way that state of Maryland should be going.
All right, well, Delegate Parrott, do you believe you're pulling the rug out from under their feet here?
No, not at all. Right now, the children can go to college. That's not the issue. The issue is are the citizens of this state going to supplement and pay for a large portion of their college education? And I think that most Marylanders say, no, we don't want our tax dollars to go to pay for illegal aliens who are not in the country legally, and we need to use our tax dollars towards trying to help jobs. You know, that was one of the big campaign things that we faced was how do we get jobs in Maryland? And this doesn't do that. We actually have a $1.1 billion structural deficit that Maryland's facing, and this does nothing to do it. We know that it's going to cost over $4 million a year just by looking at the bill itself. So
well, you've mentioned costs. Let me jump in if I may, sir.
Sure.
The Immigration Policy Center says undocumented families do pay taxes to the tune of about $275 million in 2010.
Yes, I agree with that. But the issue is illegal aliens are costing the state of Maryland $1.4 billion. So when you include the taxes that they're paying, it's really $1.6 billion burden that they have on the state of Maryland.
Your numbers are off.
Yeah, it was a very good study that was done by the Fair Report. And basically, when we look at the education for illegal aliens in Maryland for the basically K through 12, we look at incarceration rates, and we look at health care costs for illegal aliens. It's costing Maryland. Basically, if we didn't have the illegal aliens in our state, we wouldn't have the structural deficit that Maryland's facing. What we need to do is not raise taxes, which is what this bill, by basically supplementing the education costs for illegal aliens, we're going to have to raise taxes to pay for this, and that's not something that most Marylanders do.
Well, gentlemen, I have less than 30 seconds, so let me ask you both a quick question.
I'd like to respond to...
Senator, go ahead. Take it.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned the budget thing, Delegate Parrott. I've spent the last 90 days on the Senate Budget and Taxation Committee dealing with the largest budget deficit the state has ever faced, $2 billion. And over 3 years, we're going to eliminate that deficit. We eliminated $900 million this year. The $750,000 that this bill provides in terms of assistance to kids is eclipsed by a number of times by the $900 billion that we just dealt with. And I know that this bill is a distraction, and I wish Delegate Parrott would have voted for that $900 million in relief for Maryland taxpayers rather than get involved in a petition drive, which is going to be very expensive for the taxpayers, to save $750,000 for kids, to give kids greater opportunity. It's not $4 million.
Delegate Parrott, let me give you the last
It's $4 million
final few
over
seconds
many
here.
years.
Delegate Parrott.
Thank you very much. Basically, the citizens of Maryland, we don't want to pay $4 million a year for illegal aliens, people who really aren't here
It's not $4 million
We need to follow the rule of law, and we need to not support this. And I know that people are going to go to MarylandPetitions.com and sign the petition, and we're looking forward to getting this on the ballot and let the people decide in 2012.
This bill is a distraction. We should be focusing on the critical priorities of our state, which are creating jobs, continuing to provide the greatest K-12 education in the country, and fixing the budget. And this bill, this referendum is a distraction from that critical mission.
Well, gentlemen, I work in TV time, and unfortunately our time is up, but it's certainly one of the most contentious issues emerging in the national immigration debate as well. So Senator Manno, Delegate Parrott, again, thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back.